Hello, my name is Dwight Hill, and I will be interviewing Anthony Ketterer. Mr. Ketterer is a full-time student at Full Sail University. Besides being a full-time student, Mr. Ketterer is also a singer and songwriter. For my interview, I have interviewed Mr. Ketterer via email. We'll be talking about how art is incorporated into the music industry and how has it affected his creative process, and many other things. I have come up with 5 questions for Mr. Ketterer. Let's see what he has to say. The first question I have to ask is, what do you see as the role of visual arts in society of today, particularly in your profession? In his response, he said, an artist's image is everything these days. Kids want to have an idol that looks cool because that's the way society works these days. For an artist, album art means a lot, so having a great album artwork may help to sell that album. For the next question I asked, new communications and media technologies make imagery almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on your field or industry? Give me an example. He replied saying, in the overall scheme of art, the technology takes away from the mystery of era of paintings or other forms of artwork. No picture can ever replace the feeling inside the Sistine Chapel, but in my field, multimedia is a huge advantage. It helps create exposure and branding for an individual artist. With the way the world wants instant gratification, we can just put something on the internet and the masses of people can have it with a click of a button. The third question I asked him was, what popular images do you see that are frequently repeated throughout your industry? He replied, right now with album art, I see a ton of black and white American flags. Quite frankly, this is getting kind of old, but it seems to be a big hit. A lot of sexist imagery and a ton of materialism. But again, that's just the lifestyle checklist of the generation. The fourth question I asked Mr. Ketterer was, who is one of your favorite visual artists and or what is your favorite style of visual art? He responded, it's probably an Italian bias, but Michelangelo is my favorite visual artist. Everything that he paints or sculpts has an awesome feeling of mystery to it, like the measure of genius or Genesis, with God reaching his finger out. This artwork shows immense amount of thought and planning, and that's what makes his style so amazing. For the last and final question I asked, how has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process? He said, famous artwork could be very influential. With older artwork, the creative process was different than today. The images have hidden meanings or figures we fully don't understand their purpose. It's artworks like that that helps me break out of the traditional style of music and try to create something new and more refined than most art today. Well, that wraps up our interview, and Mr. Ketterer made some very valid points to most of the questions asked. I would like to thank Mr. Ketterer for getting back to me and taking time out of his day to answer the questions. Once again, my name is Dwight Hill, and thank you for your time.